Well, that was dumb of me. I didn't plug. Yeah, but hey, Jared. Hello, Jared. I didn't plug my phone in. It finally almost died. I got it plugged in now. We were doing a chat about Kent and his garage, and I am so sorry, people, for that. That's on me. My phone, I forgot to plug it in. So I hope Laura comes back and everybody else comes back. I'll be and who's Kent from Daddy Dutch Barbecue. Oh, Laura, you're back. I'm so sorry, Laura. I forgot to plug my phone in, and it's at 20% power, and it popped up thing and cut the live feed. So I'm sorry. Yeah, Kent. We were talking about garage. Kent. Kent's awesome. I love Kent. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate it. Kent's a great guy. He is a lot of. I've learned a lot from Kent. I really have. Although Jared over at Frack Daddy, he did a queso dip, and I loosely based my queso dip on him, on his. Exactly. Chug it, dude. Yeah, yeah. Kent's back. Yeah, I'm the sexy beast. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on, where's Patty Joe? Come on, Patrick. Come on, come on. Yeah, that looked awesome, and I thought, I need to do that because that's kind of what's going on. Hey, all right, so we're all back. So Kent does, a lot of his stuff out of his garage. It looks like, and so I'm working on my garage this week because it's just got a lot of props in there for my wife's studio. So I'm organizing. I have a '70 Camaro Super Sport in there I've owned since '83. It's completely torn down, but it's using up half the garage. So I'm putting the tires back on it, putting it onto some dollies, pushing it all the way over to the side so I can do this in the winter. That's what I hear about Kent. I heard he's in SoCal hanging out. Yeah, I can't confirm that, but I'm pretty sure. Probably dreaming of CJ and Charlie. Yeah, yeah. You're in Texas. Well, you kind of come to Idaho, dude. Seriously, you got a place to hang here. I got a whole room upstairs. You got a place to stay, brother. Although I think it would be cool to meet up in Vegas. Where CJ stays, I think like at the Pyramid or something like that. Snowflakes, yeah. Yeah, right now isn't it fires? Oh my gosh. So I think it'd be just cool to just get a whole bunch of people together. You see, that would be cool to meet Steve. I have him on my cell phone, but and every once in a while I just text him and say, "Hey, I need blah blah blah," and then I'll make an order, and then he'll throw in extras. Like I've got his flag over here, you know, and he said he only gives it out to special people. Apparently, I'm special. I'm not sure if that means by education or what, but yeah. So yeah, it's all good. All right, guys, I'm gonna be right back. I got to go answer the door real quick. Knowing me, it'll probably take about 30 seconds. Be right back. Be right back. Yeah, it was just Amazon making a delivery. Apparently, I buy shit when I'm drunk. Why not, right? Where's one? We're back. And we're live. We're back. Yeah, I buy shit when I'm drunk. Uh, that's how I got my gas smoker that I don't. It's a Pit Boss, but for whatever reason, I didn't realize it was a gas smoker, so I use it as an oven. And it works great as an oven. We've made cakes in it and everything. I thought that my Z Grill was a Pit Boss because I typed in Pit Boss, but I was drunk and I ended up getting a Z Grill. But at least I got the Cuisinart 360 and the Weber kettle, and I was probably sober when I did that. Yeah, because those are the best I got. Well, and of course the Fridge of Fame over here. So, but yeah, so I want to move into my garage, move my Camaro over, and get some racks that hang from the ceiling, and on the more racks for the wall for my wife and her props. That way, in the wintertime, I can just do stuff from the garage. And I've got a big garage. Yeah, round blackstone. Exactly. That's yeah. I'm a round blackstoner. Yep. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. I remember typing in Pit Boss pellet grill when I ordered it. When I was looking for it, for whatever reason, I hit okay, and I got it. It actually does pretty good. I was watching one of Ricer's videos, and he said, do a comparison cook. So, I had my little unit here, and I had one probe stuck in a piece of meat and another probe on the grill itself, just off the grill. And I had set it for 250. And I was actually very surprised that on the grill, even though the Z grill said that it was set at 250, on the grill itself it said at 260. So I was very surprised. So I must have got very damn lucky when I got it. So right now it works. One of these days maybe I will upgrade, but for the most part, I'm really digging the Weber kettle. That is a blast. I had forgotten how much. And CJ paid for your flight out. I had forgotten how much. Like I'm 53, so when I was a kid, everybody just had the Weber charcoal grills, and I've forgotten how fun they were to cook on. I'm having a blast. And then Kent said he watched one of my videos and he said you need to get these. I don't remember exactly what you called it, but nice. But basically, it's so I can do indirect heat and I can hold all the charcoal in one spot. So I bought some of those. Okay. Oh, dude, I'll be here. Yeah, phone calls. You got to take them. So I'm definitely an indirect heat kind of person when I cook. If I do, we had a hibachi too. I actually loved that thing. That was a blast to cook on. It really was. Yep. And you just put a little charcoal in that thing, and they're just little tiny things. And a friend of mine gave me that when we first. So I've been married 29 years, and when we got married in '91, yeah, I yeah, I've got to check out that disc. That sounds cool. That's the first thing we had, and it worked out perfect for what we were doing. But the first grill I had was for Father's Day about 10 years ago. My wife got me a char grill gas. I call it Old Gassy. And I gave it to my son, but my son, he gave it back because he didn't have room at the time. and so it sits over in the corner. But it does great. I've cooked many. Actually, I haven't cooked on it probably 3 or 4 months since it came back, since I retired it. But I do plan on doing it again. It just sits over there in the corner, but it it works out great. And the round blackstone works great. I've actually done ribs on the round blackstone just to see if I could. And you just have the. Let's see if I got it here. Somewhere around here, I've got one of those tubes that you put the pellets in there, like apple or hickory or whatever, and put it on there. So, oh yeah, that's see like for here, Kent, it's got to be like 65 right now. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. I'll take it, man. And in the daylight, you know, 6 o'clock when it's usually the hottest. Last week it was close to 100. This week it's like 80. I'll take it, man. I wish it was like this year round. Burr. Yeah, I guess it just depends on where you live. 15, but is that Celsius or the other? Because Laura, don't you live in Canada? Chicago burbs. Okay. Chicago dogs. I love Chicago dogs. And unfortunately, okay, yeah. Unfortunately, I've only been to the airport in Chicago twice, and that was in 2018. And both times I had a layover, and I had a Chicago dog, one from one other place, and then another place, and it was like, oh, so good. But I can only imagine what it would be like outside of the airport to have a Chicago dog. That is my favorite. We used to have a we used to have a place here called the Dirty Dog, and it was a piece of shit place. The only thing that they made decent was they called it a Windy City Dog, and I thought it was very good. Everything else was crap, and it went out of business. But their Windy City Dog was good. All right, you got it. I will because I love Chicago. Not only I hate, I know a lot of people don't like them, but my favorite band is Chicago, especially the really old shit. And on my last live, I actually sang some Chicago. But go Cubbies, go! Yep, Cubbies fan. Yep. Uh, but yeah, I if I ever get there, I will hit you up, and I would love a real Chicago dog. I had a job in Norfolk, Virginia, that I had to do in 2018, and went from Boise to Chicago, and had a 2 hour layover. So I thought, God, I gotta try a Chicago dog. It was really good. Went to Norfolk, had a blast, got drunk, drove over sidewalks, and got to swim in the Atlantic Ocean. Hung out at this place on Virginia Beach, and then flew back. I'm surprised I didn't get busted. I mean, I was so shit faced driving down this road. I'm driving on a sidewalk with this guy I work with, and he always gives me shit about that. And we went to a couple places. There was we had this place called the oh God, I can't think of it. And they had like a pound of shrimp right there on Virginia Beach, and it was just Old Bay on it. And I both times I went there, I was hammered, and that's what I ordered both times. And there's a picture on my Facebook of me sitting out inside of this place, like the Raw Oyster East Side Bar or something like that. And I'm drinking a Michelob Ultra, going, and I was drenched. I look like a drenched rat because we had just gone swimming and we were waiting for my shrimp. And then we went back to Chicago and had another 2 hour layover. And so I had from a different place another one. And actually, the second place I thought was better than the first. But I thought, this is an airport. They're just gonna throw whatever. I've got to go into town and actually have a real one. So if I ever go to Chicago, I will hit you up because I want the real experience. I used to work with a bunch of people who work for Jewel, and they're the coolest people I ever worked with. Oh, okay, I will. I will. Absolutely. I will, Laura. And they were always talking about Chicago dogs. So, like I said, when we got to the airport, it's like, I got to have a Chicago dog. And even though it was from an airport, it was the best one I've ever had, hands down. Yeah. Best dog ever. I've had Seattle dogs and uh, you name it. I like a good Seattle dog, but like I said, the dirty dog used to make a good Windy City dog, man. All right, Kent. Thank you again very much for stopping by. Appreciate it. Yeah. Don't listen to Jared or Laura or Patrick. I think Patrick bailed on us, jerk. So no, I'm just kidding, guys. Thank you so much, Kent. I really appreciate you stopping by, and thank you for everything you've done for me. It's been uh, uh, you are a great inspiration. Sweet dreams of pickles. I'm not sure I want that of me. And me too, and Laura, and Patrick. Dream of all of us, Kent. Dream of all of us. Dream a little dream. Baby Dills. On Facebook, I follow this place. It's like ADT Security, and they post, for whatever reason, they post recipes, right? And I actually did a chicken recipe of theirs. It was really good. But just recently, they did a thing on kosher. No, yeah, it was kosher dills. Like, what? So I thought about doing it and just giving Charlie a raft of crap on that video. We'll see what happens. So one of the things about the barbecue community, everybody is willing to help each other out, and at the same time, everybody is willing to give the other person some crap. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Just giving somebody some crap and willing to help them out. So it's like Jared, he posted on a couple months ago trying to get me to 1,000 viewers. And, that really meant a lot, or to 1,000 subscribers. And that really meant a lot. And shortly after that, I had a huge jump and I went from like 600 to 650, and then yeah, it absolutely does, Kent. It really does. I have met so many cool people, and it's like we were talking about on Wednesday, and Laura could attest to this. If I ever got laid off, I've been with my job for 35 years, and I get 35 weeks of pay. My wife and I work for the same company, the same boss. And if we ever got laid off, we would have over a year's worth of pay. And we thought we would head south to, go like maybe meet CJ, and then head over, maybe meet Jared in Texas, head to the Florida Keys because I love warm weather, head up north to visit Chris, and then Dustin over at TN, and just kind of make our way. And Dave over at the Bomb Smokes, I bless his heart. I hope his wife's okay. And just meet you guys. I think it would be such a blast, and a part of me wants to do it. It just do these collabs as we go. Yeah. Yeah, Meeting Mike makes some crazy ass crap. Like the octopus he made. I'm looking at this thing and he's cutting the beak out. I'm like, whoa, that is messed up. Yep, you got it, Jared. Yeah, I'm watching him cutting out this beak, and I was like, okay, but he just he makes crazy stuff, and I think it would be so cool to do a collab. Like I said, my buddy Dustin over at Tennessee Barbecue and TM Barbecue. I just got uh, a sticker from him today in the mail, actually, and it's going up on the Fridge of Fame. I think that's, yeah, right there. It goes up on the Fridge of Fame tomorrow, and just a cool guy. And his son is about the same age as my grandson, and it's just they act so similar. Unicorn. Yeah, it's cool. It's like holographic, Laura. Um, yeah. Woo! Yeah. So yeah, and then I got one from Dutchy Barbecue, and then I think this guy is a Instagrammer, but it is Naughty Beaver, so he'll go up there too. But I just got these in today. Actually, this is the one that's going up on the Fridge of Fame, Dutchy's. So he's an English boy. So good times. Yeah, I've got all my stuff out here. Just I got my recipes laid out. See if you guys can see it or not. Got my recipes laid out. Just kind of trying to figure out what to do for tomorrow. I'm sorry, guys. That was probably a shitty shot. I'm just trying to figure out what to do for tomorrow. And when I get up early in the morning and go grocery shopping to figure it out, I mean, we're making beer cheese soup and fried rice, and then the steak and potatoes on the stove. I go, why not? Yeah, if you get a sticker, man, hit me up. I love trading stickers. It's a blast. Yeah, Laura, I think it'll be fun. I really enjoyed it. I've got my best friend Steve was Steve the camera guy. He was my original camera guy. I love Steve to death. Don't get me wrong. We've been best friends for 35 years. But when he gets a girlfriend, he's the eternal bachelor. When he gets a girlfriend, he's like non-existent. And I just to I and I my wife was in the emergency room 2 3 weeks ago, and so I hung out at Steve's house and worked from there. And I'm like, Steve, I'm sorry. I need something more permanent. No, we just hired this new guy on Oric, Zach. He's my new camera guy, and Zach's awesome. He's willing to experiment a little bit with camera angles, etc. So that's what we're doing. He's coming over tomorrow. He brings ideas to the table, and you know, hey, it's all good. He brings ideas to the table. He brings yeah. I'm not against filming myself. It's tough. Oh, hello, Glorious Life on Wheels. How are you? Thank you for showing up. Very much appreciated. I'm not against filming myself. It just makes it very difficult when I have to move the camera from one angle to the next. Where, as being the person cooking, I can say, this is what I want. So, my setup is the camera guy has a camera, and he can either look at the little lens or the little screen or a bigger screen, and then I have a bigger monitor that's connected to it that I can see myself. And unfortunately, the downside to it is I look at that monitor more on, but it's just so much easier for him to make the adjustment to what I need, and I can watch my monitor and go, that's perfect, that's what I want. It's so much more difficult when I have to do that myself. But to be honest with you, I prefer to be behind the camera. Like when my daughter was on earlier, Laura, you know that. You could attest to that. And good night, Jared. Have a good night, brother. And I like to be behind the camera in doing it, but I also enjoy being in front. But if I could get away with it, I'd be more behind the camera. Oh, cigarette went out. Sorry, guys. I do have one bad habit. Well, I have many bad habits, but this is one of them. And especially the more I drink, the more I smoke, the more I pee too. But so yeah, it's fun. I enjoy what I do. Yeah, am I ever going to make a living on it? Probably not. But at the end of the day, it's about enjoying what you do. Yeah, you know it's yeah. I love a good cigar too. You know, Wills, it's an interesting experience. I definitely would recommend trying it. It can be a bit of a challenge to film yourself. We are our worst critic. That is one thing about having a camera person doing it. You're still directing it, right? And they're just filming it, but you. So when I'm filming myself, I tend to. I don't like this, so I'll redo it, or I don't like this, I redo it. Having that second person there kind of allows you to bounce ideas off them, you know, or they'll go like, "What do you think about this shot, dude?" Or "What do you think about this shot?" Okay. Smoking, drinking, and steak. That's steak and potatoes. That's all you need. So it's nice to have that second person. Like I said, I'm not against it, and I've certainly done many of them. But what I find is it's I get more views off of having a second cameraman because they can zoom in on the food itself or what I'm doing versus just seeing my ugly mug. Well, that sounds like a personal problem. There's that too, Wheels. Absolutely. They'll remind you. And what I like to do too is I'll tell my camera guy that this is what I want to do, and you know, when you're directing and when you're cooking, there's so much going on that you have to remember. That person will remember it. You know, one of the things that when I'm filming myself is I tend to have things in the background that don't really need to be there. So for my camera guy, it's like make sure there's no toys in the background or there's no extra noise or whatever in the background. Make sure that it's clean, and that's part of his job. Or like one of the things that I will do when I'm filming. Patrick picked up on this over at Patty Joe's Cooking is like my pack of smokes will be on the counter and I don't notice it, and my mom doesn't know I smoke, and I'm afraid of my mom, even at being 53. I don't want her to see her doing that, me doing that. So he'll say, "Hey, your smokes are on there." So I make him kind of take a look at what's going on around me, and when I film myself, I tend to forget that. Yeah, it's like when I bought my motorcycle. I didn't want my mom to know I had a motorcycle. She finally found out. She probably knows I smoke too, but okay, yeah, there's that too. Yep. And a lot of my I don't really script it at all when I film. It's more just kind of what comes out. Oh well, thank you very much, keto. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I've done some keto as well. I lost 50 pounds doing keto. At one time, I was at 329 pounds. I was Tommy Tanker, and I do keto. So I'll let you know a little secret, guys. I do keto for the most part 6 days a week, and I give myself my Sundays when I film as not really a cheat day, but so I'll make a dish, and if it's high in carbs, I'll have a few bites. but I won't eat it. If it's a no carb dish or really low, I'll eat more of it. But nobody wants. As far in the barbecue community, I mean, let's take for instance Uncle Steve's competition pig powder. There's sugar in this, right? So there, and it's I can't remember if it's for a tablespoon or even a quarter tablespoon. So you put a tablespoon of that on, you're getting 4 grams of carbs, and when you're limiting yourself to 50 grams of carbs a day, that adds up real quick. So if I put that on there, I'll tend to. I always feed my camera person. I give them shit all the time about it. And then you'll see me on video like I might not feed them that, but I always do. I just if I'm making a high carb dish, I won't eat a lot of it. Like when we do the steak and potatoes tomorrow, I'll have a little bit of the potato. I'll eat a good portion of the steak, but I won't eat a lot of the potato. My daughter made a dish today. She was on earlier that it was she's a vegetarian, and it was a vegetarian pasta, and I ate the whole damn. She didn't make a lot, but I ate the whole damn dish. It was so good. But for me, I wanted the sauce, and it was just basically heavy cream, which is on keto, tomatoes, little cherry tomatoes, which is on keto, and that's the bulk of it, and some olive oil. Thank you so much, wise guy. I appreciate it. Humbled that you stopped by. Really am. Thank you so much. But that's just a little secret between us. And don't get me wrong, it's good. And if I didn't like something, I actually made a video where I made these atomic. I called them atomic. No, it was atomic armadillo eggs, and I made this video, and it was basically a big old lump of pork, ground pork, or it's pork wrapped around a jalapeno with cream cheese in it, and it tastes like shit. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. It just, I loaded onto my computer just because I needed space on a card, but I'll never release that video. It tasted like crap. So I don't do that either. If I find it to be really good, I will release it. But if it tastes like garbage to me, I won't release it. That's another secret, guys. So, but like Michelob Ultra, I drink Michelob Ultra all the time, and it's I can still lose weight drinking Michelob Ultra. These White Claws, which I'm not a big fan of, but I'm out of Michelob Ultras, are super low in carbs as well. I actually did a White Claw review, and I liked every one of them except for the lime. And you see me in the video just dumping out the lime. It was nasty. And I have a friend who wants to come on the show because she has the same problem with the lime, but she was able to make it taste good. So eventually we'll have her on the show to show us how Katina is her name, and she'll show us how to make her lime White Claw that's good. I thought it tasted like garbage. Over here, I had a watermelon, and I don't like watermelon. So do you sometimes develop something? Sometimes, if I understand your question correctly, yes. Sometimes it's on the fly. I usually try to make it beforehand, but sometimes it's just something that. So what I do is I go through and I make a list. Like here's my grocery list, right? But here's my list of what I'm making tomorrow, and it is beer cheese soup. And originally it was creamy mustard baked chicken thighs, but that's not happening. And then fried rice. And the fried rice is another one that's high in carbs. And I'll probably, if it turns out, I'll probably just have a little bit of it. But if it turns out great, that's awesome. If it tastes like garbage, I won't even release it. I've actually had 2 videos like that that just taste like garbage, and it's not worth it to me. Patrick, what's up, my cousin? How was that phone call? Was it a good phone call, Patrick? I hope it was like a phone call where you made like $1 million Australian, which is probably like 10 cents. Just kidding, dude. Oh, the boss. You know, my boss calls me too from time to time, and I just, like, whatever, dude. We have our one-on-ones, and I usually end up leading it. So, and it's just because of my personality. Oh, yeah. So, obviously, you work from home. Ever considered going back to someone else's kitchen? My first video, and I look back at it and I just cringe because it's so bad. We're at my friend Kelly's house, and she made white trash enchiladas, and we filmed it at her house. And that was the plan originally, is to go to other people's houses and film them making their dinner and a drink. And it was going to be 2 separate episodes. But I would like to get back into that, because even though I look at the video and it's cringe worthy, I had a blast. I was actually going through old cards the other day, memory cards, and I came across the original video from my B camera on that, and it was probably within the last month. And my Kelly and I are super close, so she's like a sister to me. Zach, what the hell, dude? You got to be asleep because you got to be up early in the morning. Zach's my camera guy. You got to be up. You're gonna be here at 11, dude. What the hell? You need your beauty rest, buddy. So anyhow, her daughter is. She calls me Uncle Mike or Uncle Homie. I love Uncle Homie because I've convinced my grandchildren that my name is Grandpa Homie. My Angela's son calls me Grandpa Homie. My almost 3-year-old granddaughter now calls me Grandpa Homie. But Kelly's daughter calls me Uncle Homie. Sometimes calls me Grandpa Homie, but Uncle Homie. And she comes up at one point in that video and goes, Uncle Mike, I gotta pee. I was like, oh, it was so funny. All right, yeah, it's about time. All right, we'll see you at 11. So maybe one of these days I'll release a video where, just another bloopers video. Yeah, I have a good buddy who owns a Mexican restaurant here. Is actually his uncle, his Tio Alberto, owns the restaurant chain. It's a small Northwest chain, and he wants us to come in and film. And when we actually did our proof of concept video, we did it at his restaurant, and he made a jalapeno margarita. And Kelly is a bartender, and she made the jalapeno margarita at a later episode. But yeah, that's my favorite margarita. Jalapeno margarita. Knock your socks off, man. You got a bite with that awesome margarita flavor. Oh, God. So that was our proof of concept there. But he wants us to come back in, and we were originally scheduled to do it. But due to all this COVID stuff, we've held off, and hopefully we'll do it, start up next year and go to other people's houses. We've actually had a couple people come here. Kelly's come here and made drinks for us. In the past, we did a drink series a year ago. We were going to do a series this year called Boat Drinks with Kelly for the summer, and it just never panned out, where she was going to make drinks for us here at the Dude's Kitchen, maybe next year. So, but yeah, I think that would be awesome. Just go to somebody else's house. It is a blast. It really is. You just got to have your ducks in a row. And when we first did our first video, like I said, I cringe when I watch it. I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible. My hair is like down like this on one side, and it was like, oh, horrible. I've thought about that. Um, uh, I think it's a great idea, but me personally, I'm not really good at it, and because I do, a lot of people don't realize that I do keto. It kind of makes it tough. Here's the problem for me. When I start drinking, then I start drinking, and if I'm doing a couple of wines or whatever, if I'm doing a wine with that, I'll end up pounding the whole damn bottle. You know, it's kind of like these White Claws. Uh, so being a closet keto person, it kind of counterdicts what I'm trying to do. Although I think it's a great idea, and we have thought about that. So maybe after I lose another 50 pounds, is something that would be something I'd be willing to do. Exactly. Oh God, that Bloody Mary with love. Oh, that sounds awesome. I love a Bloody Mary. My friend Kelly makes a killer Bloody Mary, and she does her own mix. Oh man, and that's another one I could drink all day. Is that, and I probably will tomorrow at some point. So a concept video was we filmed this video just to see if we could do it. We had to prove to ourselves that, yeah, it does, Patrick. We had to prove to ourselves that it would work. Right? We had to prove to ourselves that we had the right video equipment, sound. So here's another thing with when it comes to videos. You can have the best video visual in the world, but if your sound sucks, then people are gonna turn away. But going ass backwards at it, if your video is decent, but your sound is good, statistics show that people will watch it more. Correct, Wheels. Yep. So I had a couple of BOD. So I guess they're called Bodies, BODE mics. I had two of them that I used from. So originally the Dude's Kitchen was going to be the Dude's Travels, and we were going to do traveling here, there, whatever. But I soon realized that I can't travel every damn weekend, and I wish I could. It'd be cool, but nobody wants. Sorry, nobody wants to see me traveling up to a waterfall in Twin Falls, Idaho, which is about 2 hours from here. It's a cool place, but nobody really wants to see that. But people do like food, so we use this mic, this BODE mic, and the sound it sounded like shit. So I have now a Rode mic, RODE, and it's the bomb. I love that mic, and that's what I use. I also have some lapel mics that every once in a while you'll see them in a video that I have for backup. And usually what I do is I tuck them right into here, right? And they pick up everything. I also do weddings, right? So I videotape weddings, and I'll clip a lapel mic to like the groom and the minister or whoever's officiating it, and I'll hook it up in there. But I'll have one in here a lot of times, and just in case the Rode mic kind of craps out, I have that backup audio. And knock on wood, I've never had that problem. No, it's not wireless. And I looked at wireless, and my daughter and I were talking about this today with wireless. Problem is with wireless is you can go Bluetooth, which has a very short range, or you can do. I do have a wireless one. It's a UHF, I believe, and it comes down here, but it cuts out a lot, and that's a nice one, but it cuts out after about 40 feet. And it also is susceptible. If I was just sitting here doing my thing, it's susceptible to other radios. Maybe somebody has a walkie-talkie, You know, so that's why I just have the lapel mic that strings around the back. If you watch the first video, you can actually see it on Kelly, but it strings along the back to the side, and then it just records right there. But that's kind of a bear too when you're trying to take that audio and match it up to your voice, right? So if I'm sitting here talking, saying, "Hey Wheels, how you doing today? Life's good," and my Rode mic craps out for whatever reason, or sounds shitty, then I have to match up the mouth to that, and that's kind of a bear to do. But if you want that good audio, that's just the nature of the business. You got to do it. I hope that helps you. I would rather. Thank you, Keto Professor. I appreciate it. Very humbled that you stopped by. Very much so. So I hope that helps you out, Wheels. My daughter is an event coordinator. She's trying to starting an event coordinator business. So she and I are currently looking at good lapel mics that are RF. Okay, good. I'm glad it helped you. I just, I don't know. I would rather go wired. I actually, for my Rode boom mic, I have a 25-foot cable for it. I don't use it, but very rarely. But that 25-foot cable does help out. So I have used it for weddings because I use the same equipment for weddings. So I'll have my mic. Like a matter of fact, I just did one 3 weeks ago, and I had to use that 25-foot cable, and I put the Rode mic way down there, well, about 20 feet down. And what's interesting is the minister had a microphone. This is a true story. He had a microphone and he was talking, and you could hear him just great. And then all of a sudden the speakers cut out for whatever reason. I have no idea why. But because of that cable, the Rode mic picked up him. And so all I had to do is when I adjusted the audio for for it, where it cuts out, I was able to adjust it so it's not exactly even, but it's close, right? So you barely notice a difference where his voice cuts off. That Rode mic still picked it up because of that 25-foot wired cable. So I don't know. Wireless just kind of scares me. I do it. I would love to get Zach into it. Zach is busy. He's got a life himself. So I'm actually thinking about outsourcing it. I was just talking to my daughter today about it. Excuse me. She was talking about a company that she found that for like $50 will do it. Problem is, I do on Sundays I'll film 2 to 3 videos, and on Saturdays I'll film 2 to 3 videos. So it kind of adds up. So it would be nice. And out of the job between cooking, directing, filming, all that stuff, the editing is the worst part. And I don't mean it in a bad way. It's just if you're telling a story, right? When I'm cooking, it's no different than right now. When I'm cooking, I'm telling a story. And you have to be able to communicate that story to everybody in something that'll make them want to watch it. And that can be kind of difficult with the editing part. Ugh, excuse me. Getting late here. I hope that helps. It really is. I'll spend 30 to 40 minutes of filming, and I'll spend 2 to 3 hours of editing per video. And that's kind of sad because, you look at it, you do a 10-minute video, and your average views are 6 minutes. And you're just like, do you realize how much time? Oh, Laura, you're back. Do you realize how much time I spent editing it? But it's just the name of the game. It is what it is. You're not going to change it. You know, YouTube has this. Yeah. Okay. Yep. And you have to absolutely. YouTube wants you to have a video that's more than 10 minutes. And the reason being is the way that their rules are set up. This is how I understand it. Is they can put in 2 to 3 advertisements, excuse me, in that 10 minutes versus if it's under 10 minutes, they can only put maybe 1 or 2 advertisements in it. The more advertisements they can put in it, the more money they're going to make. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, see, I use Premiere Pro, which is, I think, an Adobe. So the more money they make, the more money you're going to make. Because let's face it, I mean, I don't care who you are. At the end of the day, we're all on YouTube to eventually make some kind of money. At least that's what I think. Yeah, GoPro can too. Okay. Yeah, I like Premiere Pro. I've been using it for 15 months now, and I'm always learning something on it. Yeah, like I said, that's why I look back at my old videos and cringe, because I barely knew how to use the editing software, and the cameras, we weren't quite there yet. We didn't know how to do them, and you know the mic sucked. I sucked. Yeah, there I when I first started, actually the first video we did, probably the first 1 or 2, I used a different kind of software and I can't think of the name of it now. And it sufficed. I mean, and then I started going on YouTube because YouTube has everything, right? And I put in there Premiere Pro, and I started learning that there's presets and all sorts of stuff that I can use, and it was cool. But there's hundreds of things out there. Windows used to have one, and it was a Windows based editing. iMovie, Charlie from Pickles Barbecue, I believe, uses iMovie, and he produces some good stuff. I know a lot of people use iMovie, and they produce great stuff, and it comes with your phone. You think? I don't know, Patrick. For me, it seems like, so Angela's videos will get like average view of 2 minutes 30 seconds. Okay, yeah. So Patrick, that's what he uses. But if I do a 10-minute video, my average views are like 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, so it's all about time, right? Keeping people on the platform, and the more the long. So a guy put it to me this way: if I had 100 views at uh, 2 minutes per view, right? That's 200 hours. But if I had 75 views at 5 minutes a view, that's more hours. So, and also YouTube will look at it and go, this video is 10 minutes or plus. We're gonna push it more. It's all part of that algorithm they have. They'll push it more. I have yet to have that one video that just shot up. I did one that was hamburger steak and gravy, and it had like 1,000 views within 4 days. And then over the course of the next week, it had another 300 views, and it just died. And it's like, I think it's 11-minute video, but I've yet to have that one video that just went stellar. But we keep plugging away and trying to do it. Oh wow, 20. I see. I would love to have one at 23,000 views. You know, it all comes down to tags too. I have TubeBuddy that I do, and I have another program that I have, and I look at it and go, you know, I'm going to make chocolate chip cookies, and chocolate chip cookies. If I use this tag, it does really good, and I use the exact same tags as somebody else, and it was a bomb. So, you know, I don't know. I did chocolate chip cookies on my Pit Boss gas smoker, on my pellet grill, and I did it on my Cuisinart 360, and it that thing bombed. Yeah, I struggle with thumbnails. I think that's some of it as well. And I'll go back and look at some of my older videos, and I'll try to update the thumbnails on it, but it is yet to help me on it. But they say the more colors are in a video or in a thumbnail, the more it'll catch the person's view. It's kind of like somebody said it was like a magazine cover. Yeah, I thumbnails are one of those things for me. It's just kind of like I can't quite get them. I agree with you, totally wheels. Um, Thumbnails, but I've yet to master that. I keep trying, and I download everything I can. I've got like 3 or 4 different programs on my phone or apps, and I still can't quite get that one thumbnail that just takes off. Guys, I got to answer the front door. I'll be right back. Give me 45 seconds. I agree, Patrick. I'll be back. 30 seconds, maybe 45. I'm back. All back. So yeah, thumbnails. That's thanks, Laura. Thumbnails are, I don't know, one of those things. What time is it, Laura? I'm feeling I'm kind of tired. Longclaw, how are you, brother? Oh my goodness, yeah. Longclaw's in a Facebook group that I'm with, and it's really cool. It's not It's not a sub for sub. They're definitely. I do not like sub for sub. Check out Longclaw. He's got some cool stuff. I always love his videos. So that Facebook group has really helped me out when it comes to growing. So ah, damn cigarette. So yeah, I agree, Wheels. I totally agree. Yep. So you know, when you get to the point too, you can do lives. Yeah. Um, yeah, I honestly think, Laura, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about is people wanting to. Oh, Wheels, I had the same thing, but last Wednesday I was sitting out at my fire pit and I was watching an Instagram live and it kept cutting out. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to pull the trigger and do it. And that's exactly what I did. And I had a blast. At one point, not sure for me. You never know, Laura. You never know. But I pulled the trigger. I had a blast. At one point, I had 13 people on here, and a lot of the same people that are on tonight, Laura and Patrick. And I had a couple of people come in and out and come back, and um, yeah, I think it's fun. I mean, look at all the people that you meet. It's what it's about. She did last time, yeah. Not this time though, Laura. Yep, she was there last time. Ended up rewatching the video, and you can see as the longer I drink, the video kind of goes like this. I had to laugh at it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I had to laugh at it. Yeah, Marcel, she actually commented on one of my Instagram posts, and that was cool. I use Instagram, I use Facebook, I use Twitter. Although I'm not a big Twitter person. Zach, who was on earlier, he's a big Twitter person. He's got like 5,000 followers on Twitter, so he always takes a video and pushes it out there. And I'd like to get him a little more engaged in doing stuff. He really wants to do that stuff. I think it's just a matter. I don't want to burn him out. Um, so here's the thing, Wills. Oh, and I'll get to yours here in a second, Laura, on Twitter. Here's the thing, Wills. Um, when you go and look at where your views are coming from, for me, it's Facebook, Nextdoor, then Instagram. And even if I get 2 views off of Instagram, that's 2 more views than I would have had. So, and for you, Laura, um, one of the things about Twitter is a lot of the corporate folks, and I just learned this the other day, and Longclaw will attest to this. A lot of the corporate people look at Twitter versus anything else. So one of the things I like to push is my Cuisinart 360, right, or my Z Grill that I accidentally bought, right. So when I post something, I'll hashtag on Twitter Z Grill or Cuisinart 360 in hopes that one of those corporate people will look at this and go, hey, you know what, that dude, he's kind of knows what he's talking about. It's my pit boss when I'm baking something that pit boss will look at it. Oh, thank you, Long Claw. You Long Claw, you'll get there, brother. You'll get there. Trust in Swifty. I'm gonna tell you, Wills, get out there on social media and hashtag it. Really, my pit boss when I use my crazy little pit boss here. Um, like I said, I only use it for baking, but when I use it, it's the one that gets the most Twitter views, and even people from Pit Boss Twitter. I had one who retweeted it, and I thought that was kind of cool. I've yet to really meet any of these people, and I don't know if I ever will. But because there's 1,000 people out, billion, more than that, hundreds of thousands of people who have a Pit Boss, but not a lot of people have the Cuisinart 360. But I know they're out there, and I know that the Cuisinart people are out there on Twitter. So, Laura, just do it. Just do it. Oh yeah, the Uncle Steve's. Yeah, Longclaw. I'll hit you up on Messenger. You actually can. There's somebody now who does it, and they're friends of mine. All right, Patrick. I'll talk to you later, brother. Patrick, I'll send you I am. through Facebook. I want to talk to you about what's putting something together. So we'll talk soon. So yeah, Longclaw, I'll see what I can do. Uncle Steve's is the best. We were just talking about the competition cow powder. I'm using it on one of my videos tomorrow. So so and guys, with that said, it's like Laura said, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm ready for bed. I am very humbled, people, by you guys showing up. I really am. Yep, 12:47. So I got to be up at 8, but which is fine. No biggie. Good night, Longclaw. I'll hit you up on Facebook and see if I can get you connected with some of this Uncle Steve's. Laura, thank you so much. I love you too. I really appreciate you showing up. Guys, have yourself a good night. Have yourself a good Sunday. And we'll talk soon. I want to do this again on Wednesday. Wheels, yeah, you're more than welcome to show up anytime. I loved your questions. It really made me think about a lot of things. So I really appreciate it. Guys, we'll talk soon. Love you all. Have a good night.